Hello. Happy Thursday, everyone. Since we are moving over to YouTube, I'm going to mute this, make sure that we are all up and running. So good to see you guys. Hey, Bob, Brianna, Brianna. You know what? You have try it with Brie is how I would say that, but now I'm like, is it try with Bri? And good morning, Epic Value Data. It's good to see you guys. We are moving over to YouTube. We're moving office hours to YouTube. It just seems like an easier location for everybody. And so here we are. So it's good to see you guys this morning. All right. So we always kick off with the weather. It is 51 and cloudy here in Austin today, but is anybody else? Well, Bob, you're way north of this. No, you are right. It's okay. I think it's Brianne, right? I think that's right. Yes. Bob, you're probably way north of this. Actually, Brian, you probably are too. Amy, I'm not sure where you're at. Donna, I think you're just north of me. So, anyways, down here in Austin, we're getting ready for like the snow apocalypse. 19 in chilly in Maine. Brr, 5. If Beth says yay on YouTube. Yay! 5 this morning in Wyoming. Yeah, dude. Okay, so I know all of you that live like in the north are probably like, what's wrong with people in the south? Like, it's not even going to be that much weather. But I think what Amy's in Tennessee, you I haven't seen on the map. You guys might be in the middle of it too, actually. Um, in the south, especially places like Austin and my hometown, Miami, like if there's cold weather, like we just don't have the gear for it. Yeah, Amy, you're right in the middle. Steven probably has -25 with the wind chill this morning. No. Uh, yes, that's way too cold. But in the South, we don't have the gear. Like, we don't have snowplows, we don't have salt, we don't have, like, all this stuff just kind of, like, at the ready, and, so we are all, yeah, getting ready. Scott says, "Live in Central Texas, and we shut down if it's even close to freezing." Yeah, you live in Central Texas. Actually, Scott, I didn't know you're also in Central Texas. I'm in outside of Austin, so yes, you're going to get crazy weather. Christina, late due to plant shopping while it's snowing and freaking cold. Sorry. 23 in Idaho, and that's weirdly warm for this time of year. Four-wheel drive and chains, baby. So this is the thing, right? Like you guys that live up north, you've got all this equipment that we just don't need 5 years out of 6, right? And then we get into one and everything shuts down. Um, I'm near Fort Hood. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so you're like gearing for the exact same system that we are. We actually, my parents were supposed to come over from Miami this weekend and they were like, nope, not this weekend. Browsing the gorgeous lines on flowers online to pre-order. Yay! Yeah, it's adorable when Southerners come to the Northeast and say, "How do you guys drive in this stuff?" Oh, it's because we have no idea. It's so funny to me, and I think this crosses a lot of different topics, right? Where it's like we exist in our own space with a lot of context for what it is, right? Like, yeah, Jess says balmy. Hopefully this year isn't like the 2021 snowpocalypse. That's what we are all hoping for. But it's crazy, right? Like Epic Value Data, and I'm sorry, I don't know whose like screen name that is. But like you guys in the Northeast, you're just prepped, you're ready. This is like no big deal. And for us, like we just don't have like the same amount of like gear and knowledge and everything else. Kevin, hi Kevin. It's good to meet you. Thank you for telling me. I was like, that is one that I don't know. Tony says, "What is your position on the Beckham family scandal?" I do not have an opinion on that. Yeah, let's see. Scott says, "I do wish we'd get more snow so I could review snow plows and snow shovels." You know, actually, Michelle, who's part of our crew, is in Canada and she's got like stuff. I was on her YouTube channel one day because we were talking about something, links, yada yada, and I was on her channel and she was using this like snow plow where it like shoots snow, and I was like, I feel so dumb. But Kevin, kind of to your like context, like comment earlier, like I didn't even know you guys had that kind of stuff. I was like, this makes perfect sense. Somebody has taken the technology and the stuff that is available to us in this day and age and utilized it to help you guys that have snow all the time. That's just not something that I'm familiar with. So yeah. Bob says we should have 4 feet of snow by now. Nothing, nada, none, zilch, and I have 7 products to video. That can be inconvenient. We did do I can't remember what the product was, but we did a campaign for a brand one time and it was like something snow related, and the creator was like, I want to get this done for them, but I want it to be in the right weather so that it is actually like an authentic video for the brand. And so that we ended up having to kind of like wait because the weather was not cooperating. Same. We've gotten almost no snow this year and I can't demo any of my snow stuff. Oh, you guys, I do not envy that. But down here in Texas this week, like the predictions are it. So being from Miami, my like usual weather context is hurricanes, right? Like, but sitting waiting to figure out what's happening with this ice storm feels a lot like waiting for a hurricane because they're kind of like maybe now it's moving a little bit north. Maybe you're going to get some ice, maybe you're getting no ice, maybe you're getting 3 inches of ice. And if that happens, plan on all the power lines going down, not having power for a month, and snowpocalypse of 2021, right? So I went and bought water, ramen, candy, and hot chocolate. What else could a girl need for the snowpocalypse of 2026? You know, it's gonna be bad weather when Ted Cruz leaves the state. You know, it's funny, my husband texted me that. He's like, "I might be wrong because 'cause he's been on team, like, it's probably gonna be nothing, and they're, like, hyping this up for, like, the media news cycle." And he was like, "I might have to eat my words. Ted Cruz just flew to California." For anybody who is not up on any of the Texas, politics, um, in 2021, Texas had a snowpocalypse, a lot of ice. The grid failed, power out for a long period of time. And Ted Cruz, I actually don't even, he's a senator. He like went to Cancun for a vacation. And so now the joke kind of is like, it might be bad if Ted is leaving the state. Yeah. Jess says fled Cruz. Sounds like a good opportunity to make a video for a standby generator. So I actually have one in our garage and I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh, it's still in the box. We haven't even pulled it out, but we bought it in 2021. So I'm gonna have to check it before all the weather comes in. Yep, Kevin, I have all of my portable power stations charged and ready to demo. Good morning, Karen. Good to have you with us. I do love like the fact that because of what we do with like product focused content, that like even the snowpocalypse, regardless of where you're at, is like a new opportunity for being able to demo something really well. I bought a generator in 2021 after the snow and haven't had to use it. Might be able to this weekend. That's mine. It's like sitting in the garage. We bought it in 2021, have not used it. So we'll see. You guys, all right. Our usual weather conversation, because we know that part of my identity is I don't like being cold. And so it's how I start all of our office hours. But if you are new to our office hours, let me welcome you. Thanks for joining us. Super excited to be over here on YouTube for the foreseeable future. I hope you will join us in the Wayward Creator community because we have more events over there. Thursday office hours are 11 a.m. Central Time every Thursday. And we've been doing these office hours for over 2.5 years now, started in June of 2023. And outside of a couple like travel and those sorts of things, every Thursday, this is our jam. So here's how we run office hours. And by royal we, I mean me, is I usually come with some things for us to discuss, stuff happening in the Amazon influencer program, the Amazon space in general, content creation, TikTok, anything that has to do with product focused content, right? Affiliate content, influencer content, that's all our jam. So I usually bring a couple things for us. Even on the weeks when I'm like, gosh, not much has happened, I usually sit down and start like thinking back through the week, and it's like, oh yeah, creator connections reporting was slow and XYZ. So we always have plenty to talk about. And through all of this, I take questions, comments, and we will talk about like kind of anything and everything outside of the Beckhams. I don't necessarily have an opinion on that one. So, um, the other thing that we chat about, Fluencer Fruit, Wayward, and anything that is happening or up and coming with the tools. So, okay, what is Lemon 8? Oh, Christina kicking us off this morning. Lemon 8, that's a great question. Is it TikTok's US? So when it was a year, guys, it's been a year since they shut TikTok down for a couple days, right? That was last January. Are we still on an extension? I don't even know what's happening with TikTok. But so Lemon 8 is like a TikTok extension. So I think of it like, and this is not a one-to-one, but I think of it as like Instagram to Threads, right? Like Meta's universe wants you to be on both TikTok and Threads and on Facebook. You did spell it correctly. Lemon 8. Yes. It's also a video platform, and you can turn it on so that like your TikTok followers are also made aware that you're on Lemon 8. You can also post over there. And currently, I don't know how much traction it's getting. I do see like in my notifications that people that I follow are also posting over on Lemon 8. I haven't heard anybody be like, I am making a ton of money over on Lemon 8. I don't think that they have the shop component. And anybody who's over there actively, please jump in the comments and correct me if I'm saying I am vaguely familiar. So I'm speaking from my impressions, not from like deep research. I don't get the impression that they have the shop component that TikTok has, which means that it's affiliate driving traffic to somewhere else if you're doing product focused content that you want commission off of. But I have not done a deep dive on it. I feel like it could either be Periscope, right? Which was it Twitter's video? Who was Periscope? Anyways, it could either be Periscope, right? Where it kind of hits and it's kind of like they're pushing you there for a minute and then it just kind of goes away. Or it could be, Musical.ly, which ended up being TikTok and, blows up. So I don't know. I'm kind of like holding on Lemon 8 until they see if they've got any sort of traction. I feel the same way about like Neptune right now, right? It's another app that's wants to compete with TikTok and those sorts of things. Yeah, my guess is, Christina, and correct me if I'm wrong, like the question is it something you should be spending time on? If that's the question, my first gut instinct is not right now. Like if you can automate repurposing content there, I think that's always fine. Having content on all of the platforms doesn't hurt, but in way of like proactively spending time on there, I probably not. Yeah. Yeah. Bob says so many squirrels and shiny objects. 100%. The crazy thing is one of my friends said this, and I think I've said this in here before, but like my friend Kristen was like, yeah, I have opportunity FOMO. And I think that's me, right? Like there's always something cool and fun and new that we could be working on, or we could be doubling down on what works. And it's like, I don't know, depending on the week, adding something new in makes sense. And then the next week it doesn't. So, has anyone else had the Fluencer Fruit search on creator connections not be very accurate this week? Oh, Brian, thank you for saying that. I haven't looked at results this week, so I will and go make sure that our pulling function for pulling the campaigns in is working. But tell me what you mean by not accurate, not up to date, or that the filters, the search results are not matching with what's being put in the filter. So let me know. This is funny. I can see like the chat over here on YouTube, and then I'm in StreamYard. And so I know when there's like something coming because it like flags out of my like corner of my eye. And then I can see it on my screen. Good morning, Lane. Good to see you. I've noticed that when I have Oink auto accept creator connection campaigns, when I click on the link in Oink, the bullhorn disappears from the top of the product page. Is that a function of Fluencer Fruit or Oink? If the bullhorn moves, that's some sort of Fluencer Fruit interaction because the bullhorn is Fluencer Fruits. Bob, will you film a screen share for me of that? Because I haven't seen that, but admittedly, I don't always have Oink up on my pages. So let me know. The day someone makes an extension that automatically posts my Amazon videos to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, etc., with one click, I'll buy them dinner and have a blog post a blog post. I know it. I wish that, well, we might be close, honestly, and I don't want to overshoot this, but Amazon is opening now like additional users. I have to admit, Scott, do you have that on your back end? It's like you can add a user that can have access to your storefront. And I got that access early in my app. And so I like added an additional profile to test it. And then Amazon immediately shut down that functionality. And so I couldn't test it. I could see that that new user had storefront access. But when I logged in as that user, I didn't actually have access to my storefront. I could see some of the reporting, but not like edit or add videos. Where I'm going with that is if they give us that sort of access, it's possible that one of the next steps is we would be able to automate some of that stuff. The problem is it's not an API. And that's really what we would need on the Amazon side in order to be able to do all of that stuff. Now, I know that, and Lane, feel free to post your link about your automation video if you'd like, but I know that Lane uses the Fluencer Fruit download from Creator Hub and uses that to like kickstart his automation that posts everywhere else. So it's not quite what you're looking for, Scott, but it's close. Like I think that he then uploads into Airtable, and Lane is going to jump in and tell me which parts of this that I am still wrong on. Uploads it into Airtable, which then he's built an automation that does everything else. But Amazon just does not want us to integrate with actual APIs to be able to build real tools for content creators. I'm hoping that at some point that changes, but it is a long standing situation with them. Like for the longest time, all we've had is the product advertising API, and that's not even like data that we can use or that you can hook up a third-party tool to help with your reporting, like processing. There we go. Yep. 0 once creator connection lets me back in. Got the screen of death for doing too much at once. That's so bad. I hate when that happens. Did you get got all the dog screens? That is one of my favorite things that Amazon does is like if you get a dead ASIN or something else, you've got dog screens. I saw the ability to add someone, but I've never used it. #1man-show. I'm hoping that like, so on the back end of Seller Central, I could give you access to like the most specific piece of a seller account. Like I can just give you access to creator connections or just to ads or just to messaging. Like if you had somebody doing customer service in the back end of your Seller Central, like it's so nuanced with their feature flags and permissioning. I think I know why they don't want that in the creator space because of like all the data that we have and those sorts of things. But man, it is such a pain. But what I'm hoping is if we add all these like new users is that while you might never give someone access to like your US storefront to add videos, repurposing then to like international locations gets relatively easy if you have the ability to add a VA or something to your storefront for the other locations, right? And I mean, it's interesting because I've seen people talk a lot about like international kind of like on and off. And this is actually on my list for today is to talk about international because Australia's popped back up. Um, there's conversation around like finding products, uploading to those listings, those sorts of things. I got to tell you guys, I upload my videos to the international locations if they have a listing, regardless of whether or not it's showing in stock, out of stock, all those things, because I've made related sales. Like, yeah. So, anyways, the search results are not matching. If I'm searching for products with only 2 videos and selling at least 1,000, I'm getting results with 4 to 6 videos and anywhere from 500 to 1,000 sales. Okay. Fluencer Fruit, CC filters, bug. All right, Brian, thank you for telling me. I'm going to file a ticket and we'll get that prioritized because that's core functionality. On Amazon Creator Hub, does anyone else see zeros for the upper carousel on all upper and both indicators when Fluencer Fruit is checking placement? Interesting. That's why we chat, guys. Make a note. Amy, I'll check that on my end too. Once we're not live, like I'll pull up my Creator Hub and see if what mine is showing. You got it. Fluencer Fruit download to Airtable to Zapier or N8N, and that will send it out everywhere. Yeah. So, Scott, I'm not sure if that is helpful, but it's about as close as we can get right now. Let's see. Certified Wackadoodle. Influencer Fruit. How can I search for campaigns that don't end in the next 2 months? I've tried entering a date in the campaign end date and it won't work for me. This is a great question. I actually have this ticket with the engineering team right now. There's 2 pieces to this ticket, and one is just like usability. So that everybody knows, kind of like think of it as like a tooltip. So it's going to be in the field, like grayed out the format that you need to enter the date in, because it's different than the date, how it shows up in the column, which for me causes confusion. But the next piece of the ticket is so that when you put in a campaign end date, that the results are campaigns that end after that. So the answer currently is you could put in 2027 and it would only show you, like just put in the year 2027 and it will only show you campaigns that end in 2027. Now, that's not ideal, and I know that, which is why we're fixing it so that it works as expected, more intuitively. But for right now, that's the workaround. And then coming in the next 2 weeks is a fix so that you can do this exactly as you have laid out. We need to do an office hours together one day. Oh, that's a great idea. You guys, I'm always over here writing on my whiteboard all my ideas and the things that we talk about so that I don't forget after we log off. Lane, I'll reach out to you and we can chat about getting that lined up because I know everybody would love to see as much as you can share of your automation and how you're running, like just all of your content to everywhere. Do you have a video? Okay. Brienne says yes also to the zeros in the upper placement. Yes, to Lane doing an office hours. I've seen it says 0 influencer videos at times recently, yet there are some in the carousels, just assuming it's an Amazon glitch. What's probably happening, guys? So far, I think, and this is what I'm reading here, is what it sounds like is that it is in upper or both, but where it is in the carousel, which is that number, is inaccurate, showing 0. So it's not picking if it's first, second, third in the carousel. It's just surfacing a 0, but that it is in the carousel as listed. So what that probably means is Amazon changed some code in the back end. And so the extension doesn't know what to do with it. So it's showing 0. But now that we know, we can look into it and get that fixed. I do. I think you mean you see that too. Yay! Rate limiting is so stupid. I hate Amazon for that. Getting dog pages too. Yes to automation, please and thank you. Yes, absolutely. We'll get Lane on here and we'll do an automation office hours for everyone. Okay. Let me look at my list really fast. We jumped right in. Okay, couple announcements for calendar just before we go into some of the other things that I've got for us today, and obviously continue to ask questions and all of that good jazz. Kathleen Coble has Amazon influencer office hours directly after this. So we do Fluencer Fruit Wayward Creator Community office hours at 11 a.m. Central Time, and Kathleen now does hers at 12 p.m. Central Time. So I am actually going to post so that you guys can go from here to hers. At the end, I'll give you the link to hers. I mean, her channel is Kathleen Coble, so you can go over there, but just as an FYI, we're now back to back, which is really fun. But in related news, Kathleen and I hadn't talked in a couple months, and so she and I hopped on a call yesterday or the day before, and we are going to do February 5th, so 2 weeks from now, she and I are going to do a special event, office hours, a combined 2 hours. We're going to simultaneously live stream to the Fluencer Fruit channel and to her channel. So you guys can watch wherever you would like. But she and I are going to go live for 2 hours. We're going to talk about different things in the Amazon Influencer program. We're going to talk about Fluencer Fruit. We're going to talk about her course. We're going to answer questions. And so we're going to be chatting all the things. So we're going to do like a 2-hour special for everybody, kind of to celebrate like us moving office hours over to YouTube and to celebrate Kathleen moving to Thursdays with us. So it's going to be really fun. For those of you who don't know, I've known Kathleen for a lot of years. She and I are good friends. She taught me Amazon Influencer. She's made money on Amazon for longer than anybody else I know. And so it's always fun to get a chance to like jump on and be live together. So Bob says that would be awesome to the office hours. Trail to Table says, are you going to be on YouTube, not Wayward Circle? Yes, we are going to move over here for office hours for the foreseeable future. And then we'll continue. We've got courses, all of our resources, all of that stuff is still in Wayward Circle. And we will continue to have all of those resources over there, onboarding. And then we'll do office hours here. So if I can find a way to stream into Wayward's Circle as well, I will. And I did a bunch yesterday trying to figure out RMTP into TikTok and Instagram and some other places. So I'm close. I need to do a little bit more digging. So I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see if I can still simulcast in there. But for right now, we're going to move over to YouTube. Yay, excellent to have you two together again mentoring us. I'm really excited about it. Like she and I sat down the other day and like chatted for like an hour, which between our two schedules is about what we can, figure out together, but it was good to catch up. Sweet. Yes. I've noticed that Fluencer Fruit is not recognizing that my vid is in the carousel upper or lower, but when I go in and check, they are there. Thoughts? Yes, I would love. Will you send me a video? And here's what I would like to see. So this happened to Beth not long ago, where she would be on Creator Hub and then she would go to the listing, and then whatever Creator Hub said, the listing was opposite. And then she'd go back to Creator Hub and refresh, and Creator Hub would be correct. And unfortunately, because of the lack of APIs and better access to Amazon, the extension can only see what is currently on that listing, the way you would see it. And Amazon changes placement very quickly. So what I would love to see is if you will show me Creator Hub, go to the listing, and then go back to Creator Hub and refresh. It's one of those things where, because of those limitations, now there is a possibility that's a bug. And so that's part of why I want to see kind of like where you're at and what you're seeing. It's possible that Amazon has changed something on a page type and that you are the first one. Not, I mean that truly, that you're in the first group that's seeing the new page type. So this will help me troubleshoot it. And you can send it to me at liz@fluencerfruit.com, and I'll take a look at it. But that's kind of my first thing is usually when this starts popping up where people see it, it's either that their placement is changing so dynamically, so quickly that from the time you go from Creator Hub to the listing that it changes, and that when you go back, then Creator Hub sees it correctly. The second reason is sometimes that Amazon has updated a page code type and we don't have that placement code programmed into the extension yet. Yep, I saw that too. 0 carousel on Fluencer Fruit, but was on the lower carousel on a listing. Okay. So it's possible we've got a new page type. Donna, if you'll send me also kind of like a one to the other with a refresh, that would be amazing. One of the things that like is sometimes challenging is from what we know anecdotally, just in our circle of thank you, of like creators, is Amazon at any given point in time has somewhere between 4 and 5 different shopping page code types, right? So like a couple weeks ago, people were starting to see vertical videos down in that lower carousel as a video type on the lower carousel, right? I saw it one time and never again. But then other people were seeing it sometimes, then it kind of like went away and nobody's seeing it. And then sometimes they'll take away lower carousel for some shopping views and then upper carousels for others. And what we know is usually there's like 4 different groups of shopping views that Amazon is testing at a given point in time. And at some points they change different things. So I appreciate you guys telling me, and we'll get that updated. Yeah. Okay. February 5th, Kathleen is right after us. Let's talk about creator connection reporting. And I'm curious because I've seen a couple people talking about that the reporting has been delayed to late in the day. Now, this is really cyclical. Yeah. I have a couple theories about this, but I'd love to hear if you guys are also seeing the delay in creator connection commission reporting in your day. But here's a couple of my theories. So creator connections, well, reporting in general, right? I don't know if you guys remember this, but even until I don't remember the last time this happened, but for a while, every month between the 20th and the 28th, all of Amazon reporting would basically go to 0, right? And so we don't know why. Well, we think we know why. It's because it's when Amazon would start paying out everybody's commissions. And for whatever reason, there was like some bug in the back end of their system where then for like a day, everybody's reporting would go to 0, or it would be late in the day or whatever. Like people would have a hard time getting like access to their real numbers. And so I'm kind of wondering, based on how Amazon changes code and changes different systems, if there's some updated something on the back end that's causing that delay. Maybe they reverted code, somebody changed something on one side that they didn't know would impact that reporting. Yeah, Bob says creator connections reporting has been totally cattywampus over the last couple days. And Certified Wackadoodle says, I hope creator connections is just a delay. I'm still missing from 120. Okay, that was 2 days ago. Creator connection money just went up for 120 and I'm already seeing it for 121. Okay, perfect. And I'm missing reporting for 120 as well. So, okay, Amy says, my creator connections commissions for yesterday just showed up now. I've never had it show up this early in the day. Oh, okay. See, Amazon. This is part of why it's so good for us to chat about things, is because it's so interesting to be able to hear like what everybody else is seeing, right? Like some people, so my reporting for regular commissions is usually 6 a.m. Central Time, like sometimes 7. I haven't timed my creator connections reporting, honestly. Yeah, I think this is Heather. Remind me if this is Heather. Funny, I usually get CC reports late in the day after 4. I just checked and I see I have numbers in there from yesterday already today. I don't stress over it out of our control. Yeah. Um, okay, interesting. Yeah. So you just never know, right? But I think this is something that we don't often think about when oh, thank you, Heather. I was like, I think this is Heather. um, something we don't think about sometimes around like the technology is like when they have to roll stuff out over so many people, it does actually take the back end a while to kind of like roll through everything. That's why like when we get emails from Amazon, if you think I'm sure now this number is different, but a couple years ago there were like 500,000 Amazon influencers, right? If they email 500,000 people, it takes a couple hours for their sending software to like send through to everybody. And the reporting has to be the same way, right? So it makes sense that we don't all get our reporting at the exact same time from the day before. But I do know, oh yeah, Bob says, wow, it just updated. I do know that there's been something bizarre with creator connections this last couple of days. It sounds like people are just now getting reporting from the 20th. Now the other thing this could mean, guys, is that they're getting ready to do an update to creator connections reporting, that they were like putting in some sort of infrastructure that's going to like change that. So just calling it out because stranger things have happened. Yeah, it literally just updated now while we were speaking. Right on time. Mine just updated too. Yeah, it always works itself out. It does. And I know in the past there only one time, I think there was one set of reports that like just kind of never resurfaced and I think people missed like a day. I can't remember. This was a while back, but for the most part it will show back up. It just takes the system a little bit to kind of like catch back up. But um I do think that there's a possibility that they're running some code changes for some upcoming reporting changes. Hard to tell at this point. Um, but let's see. Sometimes that means improvements. We'll just leave it there. We'll see because I'm just totally guessing. Mine updated and went down. Oh no. Yeah, there was a day when even customers couldn't buy anything, so we didn't get any sales that day. Yeah, that oh, Amazon. Anytime we have a Prime Day or a big, like, tentpole event for, like, a big shopping day and Amazon goes down, I'm like, "You have one job, and it's to let people, shop." But yeah, those are the days when I am so glad I am, like, third party and not inside of Amazon because I just imagine, like, how stressful it would be to, like, have to be the one in charge of, like, coordinating and getting that all fixed. So I did see there was an AWS. It was impacting, like, not any of our stuff, but some of the tech stack that I use, on the back end at Wayward and whatnot, that there was an AWS outage that was, like, impacting, like, Snowflake and some other softwares yesterday. So, speaking of when things go awry at Amazon, but, okay. Let's talk for a minute about Australia because I know Australia has kind of popped back up and this overlaps with like international in general. But I don't have quite enough sales in Australia to um have like really a ton of information about this, right? Like I have 33 videos that I uploaded some time ago. Gosh, was it a year ago? Maybe. So I think December 24, I think that's right, was right when they were, like, starting to open all of the international Amazon influencer locations. Because I want to be able to at least have access and speak to anything that's coming or whatever, applied and got into I think at the time there's 13. There's some new ones now, but they don't support English, so I haven't gone in and, like, applied for those yet. But at the time there were 13 and you could basically like go to the Amazon influencer page, click on I'm going to show this to you guys just in case anybody hasn't done this before. But if you haven't signed up for the international locations, here's my suggestion. Even if you don't think you're going to do anything right now with international Amazon influencer, I would encourage you to just go ahead and sign up. And here's why. In the Amazon ecosystem, they have a history of early on giving you access to things that later will be gated, right? So, like, I'm in 13 of the international Amazon influencer programs. At some point, my guess is that to get onto Amazon Influencer Spain, that you'll have to have a social media platform that is specific to customers in Spain, right? At the moment, that's not the case. So if you come here to this page and you go, this little drop down makes it, you can just click into any one of these and then go to sign up right here, right? So your login is going to be different, but you can utilize your existing influencer storefront. Basically, it's like it will give you the option to like create a new account or to use your existing account. If you use your existing account, and I haven't created a new one, so I'm just using my experience from going through this process using my existing account. If you use your existing account, you're pretty much approved immediately, right? And then you get a new, unfortunately, we don't have a consolidated international hub yet, but you'll get a login for Belgium in this case, and then you'll get on-site and usually off-site IDs for the international platform as well. So will we be able to use this differently than now? Maybe never, right? But I like to get into these. So like Amazon merch is a good example of this. For a while, like merch was wide open. Anybody could get in, right? And then they went and like kind of locked it down. And it was like then because people started making a lot of money and you couldn't get into merch without certain requirements and all these things. And now they've added it. So if you're an Amazon influencer, most people in the influence program can also get into merch. But when they have these like wide open moments in different things in the Amazon system, I like to go ahead and get in there. So where I'm going with this, Australia is currently active. I don't know, early last year between all of the international geos. And I was only and still only upload videos in English. So I wasn't doing any other translation or anything else. When everything was on, I was making an additional 20%. And I tested that across some other creators who were also at the time kind of like experimenting with all of the different places. And it was like an extra 10 to 20%, depending on, you know, which platforms or which geos they were in. Do I think they will ever open all of them back up for supporting English? Probably not, right? They'll continue to refine those. I would still try and get access. Now, that said, the platforms or the international locations that we are currently seeing sporadic traffic on, Canada, the UK, Australia, right? I sometimes make money in Spain, Belgium, and Sweden. My videos are in English. I'm not sure at some point, I'm sure they will pull them down, but they exist there now and they do make some money. The next question people ask, is it worth the time? If it's something that you personally have to do and upload and you've got thousands of videos, maybe, right? If it's something you can offload to an assistant and have them basically just pull all of your videos and upload them to the other, I mean, it is a way to make money off of content that you've already got. The real kind of kicker at the moment is none of the other international Amazon platforms are as consistent as the US, right? So nobody else is doing like the same thing with upper carousel and consistent placement and all of those like things that are how we make money on site, right? So this is my Australian storefront with my 33 videos here, right? I want to show you If you're using Fluencer Fruit, I want to show you what Fluencer Fruit can do on all of the Amazon influencer marketplaces. So anywhere that you can look for Amazon products, Fluencer Fruit will work. But I want to tell you what it does do and what I wouldn't necessarily lean into it for on these other marketplaces. So it will do your placement, right? So like this is the same as it does on your US storefront. And it will pull your placement. So Australia right now does have very consistent placement, right? Like of my, is it 32 videos here? I must have a picture. 31 of them have placement and one of them has no carousel. Okay, right? So if you click into this, and I'm going to have to like switch tabs here, going from one to the other. But Australia does currently have like lower carousels, right? So it makes sense to me why people are starting to see commission coming in from Australia. Now, when you're doing a search on the Australian Amazon, what I would probably take with a grain of salt is some of the, like, none of them have upper carousel, right? So that's not consistent. But I would definitely look at the, not giving me the, there we go. Okay. I would definitely check, right, to make sure. So like, because it's not consistent yet, we're not shooting bugs in the other geos, right? So like this says 0 influencer videos, 0 total influencer, but on the other search result page, it says 7, right? So if we scroll down, we can see that there are none. So if Australia becomes super consistent, we'll come in here and we'll get this all like nailed down, because the Australian product listing pages are going to be different than the UK product pages and Canada, all those things, right? But I want you to see it does have some of this functionality, but it's not going to be as accurate as in the US. Okay. But on your storefront page, you can see your placement and you can see, yeah, you can also do your downloads from here for your videos and search all those things. So, okay. I wanted to show that to you guys. And this is the same across. Now, none of the international Amazon influencer programs have Creator Hub. That's not true. One, India has Creator Hub, just like the US. None of the others do at the moment. So that means like they only have Creator Studio, which is the more drab 12-month information on that other page. So your very pretty Creator Hub reports will not pull in the other geos. So what the other thing Fluencer Fruit will do is sometimes, not always, sometimes the ASIN is the same for a product across all of the different platforms. If that's the case, and there is a creator connection campaign, it will show you on the Australian like search results that there's a US creator connection campaign. Now I say it that way because there are no other creator connection platforms, like only the US has creator connections. So if a product that's on Canada has a campaign, it's on the US, but it will flag that with the megaphone on Fluencer Fruit. Okay. Oh wait. Scott. I've been slowly uploading my videos to Canada and UK and now Australia. I have about 750 videos on Canada and the UK and making about $100 per month so far. So it can be worth it in my humble opinion. It's just timely. Yeah. That's when I was doing this. So I would take like one video and basically like pull it, use Genius Link. I would put the link in Genius Link, and then I would have Genius Link, it has that list, right? And it's like which different geos have an exact match for that product, which have a search results yellow, and then which are red, right? And I would use that list then to go like geo by geo and upload that one video. And I mean, it wasn't a ton. I think I at the time did like across 50 videos, but across all 13 platforms. I think I ended up across 50 videos having like 270 uploads across the international. I have to go back and look at my numbers, but it was something like that, right? They average like 4 geos per product is about where I landed. And it took me, I mean, I just would sit and put like a movie on a Saturday and just upload, like just while there was nothing else going on. What's the fastest way to check if a product is available in other countries? Genius Link. That's how I've done it, is Genius Link, because if you put in the ASIN or you put in the link, Genius Link pulls all of the geos. And so that's how I've done it. At some point, I'd love to put like a Genius Link integration in so that you can see that like in Fluencer Fruit on Amazon, but I'm just waiting for Oink to get on the Australia uploading, like for Canada and the UK. I started on Australia a year and a half ago, but found it too timely so far. I didn't make $4.20 there. Yay! I did $2.65 on Thursday of last week. So, and then I did like another $4 like weeks ago or something. So it's starting to pick up over there. He updated to include Australia last week. That's great news. Yeah, it is. Also, a new way to upload using the other actions while on your storefront instead of doing the scrolling and slower options. Still have to download, upload, but it will save time. Yes. Excellent. I upload 20 per day due to seeing others getting into trouble for moving too fast. Yeah, I think the reason that I didn't get in trouble, one, it was a year ago, and I don't know that Amazon really cared about what we were doing internationally at the time. But the other thing is I think because I was taking one video across all 13 geos as opposed to 13 videos onto one geo, right? Like I was doing by video as opposed to by geo, but yeah, who knows? All right. We have 9 minutes before Kathleen kicks off her office hours. And so I'm going to go ahead, post her link here. Don't leave me just yet. We're not done, but I just want you guys to have this for when our time ends. I just emailed you, Liz, those screenshots. By the way, this is Paula. Oh, hi, Paula. Welcome. You guys, I'm going to memorize everyone's YouTube screen names. I promise. It will just take me probably 2 weeks. So FYI. Thank you for letting me know too. I appreciate it. So Kevin, Heather, Paula are the 3 that I did not immediately know. So I'm going to start logging. I'll get it. Okay, couple other things before we wrap up that I've gotten questions about just in this last week. One is the people not seeing the extension on search results page, but seeing it in the drop down. So I just want to show you guys something because, I switched the tab, but didn't add it to the stage. Here we go. This is how I feel too. Hey, Paula. Okay. Okay. Over here, we added, see if it shows. Yes. Okay, good. We added a toggle. So if you don't want Fluencer Fruit to take up all of this real estate on your search results, you can actually toggle this off. And then it's off on the search results page, but the drop down will still work. So I'm not sure if something happened on the back end for a certain group of people or related to a code change on Amazon or what, but I have had a number of people being like, hey, I can still see the drop down, but I'm not seeing the extension. If for some reason that happens, check this little toggle and see if when you move it over, the little circle needs to be towards the on in order for it to work in the search results. But it's really quick. So like it's a quick test, right? There is also on this little cogs wheel here, if you've never looked at, when you click on that, this is your settings page. So you can turn Fluencer Fruit off and on in just about any different spot. So also just kind of like as an FYI there. Drop down total influencer. So we went in and fixed Total Influencer. So what was happening is when we initially built Total Influencer, it was pulling in customer reviews in addition to creators. So this, and I'm telling you guys this so that you can let me know if you're still seeing any. I had a couple people yesterday that I tagged in the Facebook group, just like, hey, can you take a look? Because I know they were initially seeing customers in addition to creators, but I think we've got it fixed. So when you click into these will take you to the actual video. So if you want to see what other creators are doing for that product, or if you want to see their storefront, you can actually click on, it won't let me change screens. Yes, it did. Okay. If you click on the creator, you can take a look at their storefront. So we did fix that. It should not include customer reviews anymore. So let me know if you see that. We went back and basically like all of the influencer stuff is held in a database and then the extension pulls it forward. So like on the back end, there were still some customer reviews even after our first fix that were previously pulled. So we went back and kind of scrubbed that database. So just let me know if you see any of those. Well, this is a different YouTube for me. Sorry, you would have recognized me if I was on my usual account. That's fair. Amy, is there a directory somewhere that explains each of the icons, such as the on-off toggle to the newbies? That's a great question. I don't have a directory, but that's a great idea. Jess, I'm adding that to our list if you're still here. Directory tooltips. But there is a video here on the YouTube channel, and it is called, let's see if I can find it really fast and give you the link. If you go to videos, it's like the third one, and I'm going to give you the link here too. This is the most recent, yay, Jess. This is the most recent, like full tutorial, right? And it's all the way, I can't remember if we had filters and creator connections yet, but I think everything other than that is in this tutorial that I just dropped the link to. So, so the answer is actually no, but we'll work on it. So smart. Thanks, Jess. And this is the most recent tutorial. There is also like from Tuesday, if you go into the Wayward creator community, let me pull this up. All right. If you haven't been in here yet, if you go into the Wayward creator community and you go to onboarding events here, you can go to past. And this most recent one, I was very intentional. This is my automatic thumbnail. Very cool. But this, if you scroll down, will give you, this is like my full walkthrough of the Wayward community, the Wayward platform, and then Fluencer Fruit from start to finish with all of the current features. So Amy, you should be able to get access to that. And again, it's onboarding events, past, and then the most recent one from Tuesday. Yeah. Yeah, I knew there was a tutorial. It would just be nice to have a brief explanation of what each icon does rather than trying to do a run through a video. Absolutely. I totally understand. We'll put that together, and what we'll probably do is put it in the community as like a resource so you can just pull it. So that way you can just have it in like a downloadable PDF if you want to keep it somewhere that's not constantly referring back to the community. But yeah, totally with you. Okay, guys, next week, January 29th, I will be back here, same bat time, same bat channel, 11 a.m. Central Time. We are, for the foreseeable future, going to be here on YouTube. So we're very excited about that. And by we, I mean me. I am very excited about that. And we are going back to back with Kathleen, who is going to be starting her office hours here in 2 minutes. So again, just to kind of like recap some calendar stuff, the 29th will be here the same time, same place. And then, sorry, I got distracted by Amy. I'll answer that in just a second. Sorry. And then February 5th is the 2-hour event with Kathleen and I doing office hours together, simulcasting on the Fluencer Fruit channel and on Kathleen's channel for the full 2 hours. Could you have an information icon on the page that you could quickly find that information? I think we can add it to the settings page so that you don't have to like click out of the tool, but so that like basically when you click on that icon, it would give you like a link to that so that you have it handy. So, yeah, let me know. All right, guys. This was so fun. Thank you for being the favorite part. My favorite part of every week is Thursdays from 11 to 12. I hope that you guys have a very lovely Friday and weekend. And I will see you over in Kathleen's office hours. But yeah, you guys always feel free to reach out if you have any questions, comments, concerns, and we'll see you next week. Bye.